Previously on Live from Mount Olympus.
Artie, did you hear that?
It sounds like a newborn baby.
Artie, it's a bear. It's okay.
It's not okay. That bear is enormous.
And it's getting close. We have to save the baby. Now, stop.
I know this bear. Hunters just killed her cub. She's lost in grief. She just wants to be a mother.
Talking about money can be so hard, especially when the person you're talking to is still learning how to do long division. That's why Million Bazillion, a Webby-winning podcast from Marketplace, is here to help. I'm Bridget, and with my fellow co-host Ryan, we help teach your little ones about complex topics like bankruptcy, climate change, and why there's so much gold at Fort Knox, and so much more. Listen to Million Bazillion wherever you get your podcasts.
Live from Mount Olympus is produced by the Onassis Foundation and is a proud member of Tracks from PRX.
And so, Atalanta grew up with her bear family, never knowing where she came from or why exactly she was different.
Catch me if you can!
Oh, we'll catch you.
But it's not fair, Lanta. You're too fast. You need to run with all four paws, like us.
He looks so funny running around like that on just two.
Maybe if we lost all of our fur, too, we'd run faster.
I have fur!
Yeah, the fur we shed last spring.
But it covers me! Look! I'm furry like you!
You're so weird.
Well, you look really weird when you get stuck up in a tree, Arcus.
Atalanta?
And you look weirder than weird, Khalid, when you put your head in that beehive last week and were sweet and sticky for days.
I was hungry.
I'm hungry now. I wouldn't mind sticking my head in a beehive.
Oh, it would be worth it for that sweet, sweet honey.
Not for me. I don't want to get stung. But I did spy some grapevines past the edge of the forest.
Mama says we should never leave the forest because of the monster.
Hunsters, Arcus, not monsters.
Hunters, Khalid. I think Mama made them up just to scare us. Talking about how they have long legs and carry sticks that can fly. How can any animal do that? I'm not afraid of some stupid old hunters. Come on! Last one to the grapevines is a rotten egg! Yeah!
Hey! Those birds are eating all of our grapes.
Like big beaks in a can of...
Their beaks are purple.
Shoot!
Those grapes are so good.
You two can fight with those feathered pets.
Like they're so
There's
good.
plenty of grapes to go around. Down that hill I see more. I'm gonna get them.
Oh, bother! Those bear cubs are coming this way. They must want to eat grapes, too.
Look at that one with no fur, just old fuzzy sheddings draped over it.
Sweet. You know what a little bird told me?
Do tell.
I heard that one was born in a palace.
You mean the palace just outside the forest?
Yes. The big one?
No.
I love perching on the high walls after gorging myself on grapes and pooping on the humans.
Oh, you're really funny.
Sweet.
Oh my.
Sweet.
You are naughty. Let's go later when we're full of grapes.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
They deserve it. Especially that king. I heard that after his daughter was born, he had her taken to the forest.
Because she wasn't a boy.
And he left her there.
What a foolish thing to do.
Poor furless child.
Imagine being tossed out like the trash.
Hey, Khalid, are they talking about Lanta?
What other furless child do you know of?
Furless and unwanted. What a shame.
Once an outcast, always an outcast, I guess.
Good luck.
Hey, Lanta. Back already?
Grapes down there were so sour. Ugh.
What a shame.
Shame.
Shame? You would feel shame if you could see the grape juice stains on your furry faces.
You're just jealous we have fur.
I think you slowpokes are jealous of me. You're not bears. You're sloths.
I'd rather be a sloth than an outcast.
Atalanta's an outcast.
Atalanta's an outcast.
I'm not an outcast. I'm your sister.
Children, danger! Come at once! Hunter!
Monster!
Time to go.
Monsters!
Hunter?
He's got a bow and arrows! Come to me! Now!
Arrows?
Run, Arcus! Run, Callisto!
Arcus!
Mama, I'm stuck. Help me!
Arcus! I'm coming back for you! Let me rip these vines from your legs! I've got you!
I'm free! Come on, Lanta, let's go!
What is that creature? He has no fur, like me. What is in his paws? And the way he's just standing on two legs. And his eyes.
Lanta, hurry!
His nose. His ears.
Run, sister!
My face looks like that when I see my reflection in the water.
Daughter, run to me! Now!
Mama, I'm coming! Callisto and Arcus are finally asleep, Mama. You wanted to talk to me?
Why were you just standing there, child? You could have been shot. You could have been killed.
I couldn't take my eyes off that strange creature at the edge of the vines.
That was a hunter, Lanta. I've warned you about them. Your brother and sister look up to you. You should never have led them to that vineyard.
I know. I'm bad. I don't belong. I'm an outcast.
Outcast? Never.
Kali and Arcus kept calling me an outcast.
They were just repeating something they heard, child. Something cruel.
But what does it mean?
It means... It means someone who is cast out of her home, who can't be with her family. So how could that be my sweet daughter, who has a family that loves her?
But that creature, the hunter? What was it holding in its paws? That bent stick, and the pointy ones that came flying at us.
Only cowards choose to fight with weapons rather than claws and teeth.
Mama, you know that creature has no chance against you with just his claws and teeth. I don't either. It's why I always have to run so fast.
What do you mean?
Ugh, why am I so different? Maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I should leave.
Don't you dare walk out of our den.
But all I do is make you angry.
I'm not angry, Atalanta. I'm afraid. Sometimes a roar of fear sounds like a roar of anger.
Oh, then I make you afraid. I lead my siblings into danger. I cause you all nothing but suffering. Well, that was definitely an angry growl.
No, Atalanta. It was the sound of my heart breaking.
What? What are you talking about, Mama?
I can't protect you any longer. It's time for me to tell you your story.
My story?
Sit. 10 years ago, when the August moon was full, I wandered through the forest, lost in grief. Earlier that day, while I was foraging for food, my first cub, who would have been your older brother, my first cub was hit by an arrow and killed by a hunter.
No!
That night, my pain was unbearable, and my heart felt as if it were filled with stones.
Oh, Mama.
All night, I raged through the forest. The other bears stayed far away. My agony was so deep and so dangerous. And then, just before dawn, I heard something that shocked me out of my grief, something that made me remember I was a mother, even if my cub was gone.
What did you hear?
A cry. A weak but persistent cry.
What was it?
It was a cub, but with no fur at all, except for a scrap of sheep's wool around it.
A cub?
Tiny, helpless, furless. I found you, daughter. I found you.
Me?
I picked you up. You were so small. But you knew what to do right away and began to nurse. And I felt that you were mine. Strange as you seemed, you were my cub now.
What was I doing alone in the forest, in the middle of the night?
You were lost, child.
How could I have been lost? You just said I was tiny and helpless.
That is all that I know.
So someone left me there. Ugh, an outcast.
Lanta.
So you've known for years, for my whole life, that I'm not your daughter.
You are and will always be my daughter.
How can I trust you when you say that? If you kept my own history from me, then what else are you hiding?
I was waiting until you were mature enough to understand the whole story.
Or were you waiting until I forced the truth out of you?
You may be right. I'm not sure.
I need to know who I am, where I came from.
I cannot stop you from searching for that, Lanta. I can only hope that you arrive at the most important truth of all. The one I have told you every day of your life, which is that you will always have a family who loves you.
If you care about me,
I care about you with my entire being.
Then you will tell me the rest of what you know.
The only thing I've yet to tell you is, that night when I found you, I felt the divine presence of Artemis herself. I think I heard her speak. I think she said a name.
My name?
Yes, my daughter. Your name. Atalanta.
Then I must find Artemis and find out the truth about who I am.
Live from Mount Olympus is produced by the Onassis Foundation and co-produced by Brooklyn-based theater company, The Team. Our co-directors are Rachel Chavkin, Zhailon Levingston, Ahmad Simmons, and Keenan Tyler Oliphant. Karen Brooks Hopkins is our executive producer, and our series creator and showrunner is Julie Burstein. Our actors are Carlo Albad, Ben Beckley, Kayla Bennett, Sumaya Bubal, Vinie Burrows.
Imagine being tossed out like the trash.
Sean Carvajal, Jill Frutkin.
You're naughty. Let's go later when we're full of grapes.
Abel Garcia.
Mama, I'm stuck. Help me.
Divine Garland. Halima Henderson. Joanne Hernandez.
Why am I so different? Maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I should leave.
Monet Cherie Hunter.
It would be worth it for that sweet honey.
Modesto Flako Jimenez. Libby King. Ian Lassiter. Zhailon Levingston. Christina Liberus. Nehemiah Luckett. Kimberly Marable.
Come to me Now!
Jake Margolin, Justin Medina, James Harrison Monaco, Greg Moscala, Xavier Pacheco, Elena Reyes, Mickey Robinson, Kat Rodriguez, Max Samuels, Kristen Sieh.
I love perching on the high walls after gorging myself on grapes and pooping on the humans.
John Turturro, Jillian Walker, and Andre DeShields is Hermes.
Never knowing where she came from or why exactly she was different.
Special thanks to Adrian Hopkins, Natalie Hopkins, and Caroline Hopkins. This season, the team's interim producing director, Nydia Medina, and producing associate, Chandler Smith, led production, with support from the new producing director, Emma Orm. We had casting support from Melissa Friedman of Epic Theater Ensemble. Our writer is Nathan Youngerberg. Yonatan Reckham is assistant editor, and Claire Street is our production assistant. Audio production and mix by John Malillo. Music composed by Magdalene Gianniku and performed by Banda Magda. Jason Adam Katzenstein created our illustrations and is series humor consultant. A big thank you to our creative advisors, Dr. Michael Cohen, Effie Siotsu, and Richard Nodell. Michael Kendrick is program director for Onassis USA, and Olivia Buntain is antiquities consultant for our show. Marketing by CauseLab. Social media management by Milagros Farindia. Press by Blake Zadell. Graphic design by Onassis Creative Studio. Live from Mount Olympus was recorded with tracking engineers Mark Frangelo and Violet Furton at Dubway Studios, and Roy Hendrickson at the Power Station at Berkeley, NYC. This season of Live from Mount Olympus is dedicated to the memory of Dr. Janet Handler Burstein, who believed that these timeless myths continue to express our human struggle to understand ourselves and the world we live in. Since 1975, the Onassis Foundation has been dedicated to culture, community, and education with projects that can effectively inspire social change and justice across borders. Learn more at www.onassis.org. Till next time, there's so many stories to tell.
From PRX. Onassis Foundation.
Did you know that kids eat 1,095 meals every year?
And if you include snacks, it's more like 4 trillion meals a year.
Honestly, the responsibility kind of sucks sometimes, but we're here with some real help and camaraderie too.
We're Stacy and Megan, hosts of Didn't I Just Feed You, a weekly podcast that gets real about what it takes to feed our families.
Tune in to Didn't I Just Feed You for kitchen tricks, product recommendations, and tons of meal ideas, like how to turn nachos into a legit family dinner. Listen to Didn't I Just Feed You wherever you get your podcasts.